Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got this great stack of thoughts and insights you've shared, and today we're really digging into something that's on a lot of minds.
Definitely. It's about navigating work, finding purpose.
And just dealing with, frankly, the anxiety around it all, especially now with AI accelerating so fast.
That's a huge topic.
Yeah.
And it taps into some really deep-seated fears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You see what AI can do now,
Oh, yeah.
writing code, analyzing markets, like
Right.
faster than anyone could, even creative stuff that's surprisingly good.
Right. It's startling. And when you see that, it's so easy to feel that doubt, that question that came up in the material. Why even bother trying? AI does what I do, maybe better.
Uh-huh. And that feeling. Totally understandable. The headlines are relentless.
They really are. Feels like your skills are just becoming obsolete overnight.
That's the gut reaction, for sure. But these insights, the ones you brought, they push us to look at it a bit differently.
How so?
They suggest maybe our whole idea of what a job is might be slightly off. It's not just a title someone gives you.
Oh.
Fundamentally, it's always been about what you offer, what you bring that makes other people or their projects, their future, better.
That's a big shift in perspective. Less about fitting in, more about creating value.
Exactly that. Think about Jeff Bezos, early Amazon days.
Right.
He wasn't looking for a role that existed. People in publishing were like, books online, never.
Yeah, I remember that.
He didn't argue, didn't wait for permission. He just built a better system, solved a problem, access to books so well, he carved out a whole new reality.
He basically made himself essential by being incredibly useful.
That's it. Real work, the kind that sticks, is about being so useful, so effective, that not having you involved, that becomes a loss for them, for the company, the team, whoever.
Okay, so if AI can handle a lot of the tasks, the execution, what's left for us? What's the unique human thing? The insights really focused on this, didn't they? Connection, care.
This is where that idea of the transfer of care comes in. Remember that anecdote about Seema the barista?
Yeah, her line's always the longest.
Right. And why? The coffee's probably just as good next door. Machines can steam milk perfectly, process payments instantly.
But Seema, she remembers your name. Ask about that big meeting you had.
Exactly. Wishes you luck. It's not just caffeine you're going for.
No, it's that moment. Feeling seen, feeling like your morning matters a little bit to someone else.
That's the transfer of care. AI does the task. It can't easily do the connection, the empathy. So if your value can be boiled down to code,
Then you need to ask a different question.
yeah, not what can I do,
Yeah.
but who can I help better than anyone else in a way that's more than just the technical bit.
Which interestingly leads to how these insights talk about AI itself. It's not just the big, scary competitor.
No, not at all. It's reframed completely. We're here. It's 2025. We have tools. Wow, more powerful tools than ever before. AI is part of that toolkit.
It's an amplifier, not just a replacement.
Exactly. Like, imagine the Renaissance painters. Yeah. Imagine if they had today's AI tools.
Yeah.
The Sistine Chapel. Maybe it's a 6-month project. Not because they're less talented, but because their vision gets executed faster, maybe even explores more possibilities.
And it leashes the talent. Like that story about Arjun in the material. Couldn't afford design school, right?
Right. But he used the tools available, and yeah, AI is definitely part of that. Now taught himself UX, graphics, everything.
And he didn't just copy stuff. He used the tools to get his unique view out there faster, better, launched his own studio.
The AI didn't replace him, it released him. It was catalyst.
Like David and Goliath, but...
But now David's got data analysis and drones.
Aha, yeah. The slingshot, the skill still matters hugely, but the strategy, it's boosted by these tools.
Totally. And that Nigerian teenager story, using free AI tools, builds a fraud detection engine better than a funded startup.
Incredible.
It just shows curiosity, mission, and access to these tools. You can bypass all the old gatekeepers. Credentials matter less than impact.
Your pedigree isn't the main thing anymore.
Not necessarily, no. Access changes the game.
Which brings us to this concept explored in the insights, Worker One. What's that about?
So Worker One isn't like first in the queue for a job. It's about being the first to serve. The first to step up, uplift, create value.
Okay.
Defined by sort of 3 things. Empathy in how you design or approach things. High performance in what you actually deliver. And being truly collaborative.
And the core idea, the irreplaceable part, it's not about working harder than a machine.
No, it's about outcarrying it. bringing that human element, that empathy, that connection we talked about. It ties into that concept from TAO.ai we saw mentioned, linking care and performance.
Right, bringing it back to the human core.
And it connects to that truth.
Yeah.
You're not really paid for just potential or for tasks AI could do. You get rewarded for the impact you make.
Yeah.
If you being there genuinely makes the team's future better,
Yeah.
you've earned your spot.
Okay, but let's get real for a second. Someone listening might be thinking, that's all well and good, philosophically, but I'm still looking for a job right now.
I'm like, got the resume, applying like crazy, networking, tweaking the LinkedIn profile,
Yeah.
and just nothing. Silence.
That frustration is so real. You know you're qualified, you're playing the game by the old rules, and it feels broken.
Like Abhai's story in the Insights. Smart guy, capable, applied to what, over 150 places?
Yeah, something like that. And just crickets. He was getting really discouraged, wondering, is it the algorithms? Is the system just jammed?
What changed for him? It wasn't applying again.
He totally flipped the script. He decided, instead of trying to get picked, he'd just help someone. Proactively. He saw a problem with the startup's user onboarding was clunky. So he just made a short video, showed how he'd fix it, sent it to the founder.
Without asking for a job.
Explicitly not asking for a job, just, hey, saw this, thought this might help.
Doug, don't leave us hanging.
They called him, not for an interview, but like, can you come do this? So a contract.
Wow.
Which turned into a full-time role. Then leadership. He stopped applying and started contributing. He showed his value instead of just listing it. He proved his impact before they even hired him.
Exactly. It's moving from passive hope to active demonstration.
Okay, so this leads perfectly into the practical stuff. The tactics from the Insights. Maybe a bit rule bending, but designed for this world.
Yeah, these are about changing the game, not just playing the old one harder when it might not be working. Signal over noise.
Okay, tactic 1. Don't apply, contribute. This is the Abhay method, basically.
Right. Ditch the spray and pray applications. Pick a company you actually respect. Study them. Find a real specific problem you could help solve.
Like what specifically?
Could be small. A confusing part of their app flow. Messaging for a customer type they're missing. A better way to visualize some key data.
Okay.
Then you create something. A little prototype, a quick Loom video walkthrough, a clear note with mock-ups. Send it to the right person, founder, product lead.
With a subject line like...
Something simple, non-demanding. Saw something you might want to fix, took a shot. Or idea for your onboarding flow.
The material even suggested posting it publicly sometimes. Bold move.
It is bold. But the point, the dirty secret as they called it, is companies want people who move the needle. If you show you could do that before you're asked, you jump the queue.
They notice. They might even create a role.
It happens more than you'd think. Okay, tactic 2, shrink the room.
Meaning?
Instead of hitting hundreds of companies superficially, go deep with just a few key people. Founders, managers, team leads whose work you genuinely admire.
But how do you reach out without just sounding like you want a job?
You do your homework. Read their stuff, listen to their podcasts, understand their challenges, find a real overlap with your interests or work.
Okay.
Then reach out to join a conversation, not just ask for time. Frame it around their thinking. Hey, I heard you mention X. I'm wrestling with something similar. Mind if I ask a quick question about how you thought about Y?
So you're showing you've engaged, you're curious, not just needy?
Exactly. You're building a peer connection based on substance. And honestly,
Yeah.
you only need 1 or 2 of those conversations to go well. We could change everything.
Right. Okay. Tactic 3. Build in public. This feels uncomfortable for some.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're taught to polish everything, show the perfect final product.
Yeah.
But the advice here is share the messy middle. Your experiments,
Yeah.
the things that didn't work, your rough drafts, your first clunky attempts.
Why? What does that do?
It makes you relatable. It shows progress, learning, resilience. The internet, oddly enough, often rewards that journey more than just the destination. It invites people in.
Vulnerability as visibility.
That's a good way to put it.
Right.
It builds trust and connection, and opportunities pop up in unexpected ways when people see your process.
Interesting. Okay. Tactic 4. Make AI your unpaid intern. But like strategically.
Yeah, go way beyond just write me an email. Use it for leverage.
How? Give me examples.
Okay, use it to simulate tough job interviews.
Yeah.
Meet at your portfolio and ask, why isn't this landing interviews for these kinds of roles? Get specific feedback.
Nah. Okay. Like a personal consultant.
Exactly. Or have it analyze the public activity of someone you want to connect with and suggest genuinely relevant conversation starters based on their recent posts or talks.
So AI helps you personalize your outreach authentically.
Or use it to analyze your resume against a specific job description, not just for keywords, but to brainstorm a strategy to highlight your unique fit and stand out.
So the question isn't just, am I using AI? But
Is AI working harder for you to amplify your unique strengths than it is for the next person? Is it giving you an edge?
got it. And the last one, tactic 5, reframe the role,
Yeah. Stop trying to just tick every box on those often crazy job descriptions.
which are often full of jargon anyway.
Right. Instead, ask yourself a different question. If I join this team, how will they operate differently, better, in 6 months, specifically because I was here?
Focusing on your unique contribution.
What do you bring that's maybe missing? Is it deep expertise in one niche, a fresh perspective, a network, maybe just an energy that lifts everyone?
So you're not just applying to shit in.
You're offering an upgrade. You're framing yourself as an essential asset, not just another applicant. It changes the whole dynamic.
Okay, wow. So pulling this all together, this deep dive, these insights, it feels like the shift isn't just about AI.
No, it's deeper.
It's a fundamental rethink about how we create value, how we find our place, focusing on contribution, using these new tools smartly.
It suggests dream jobs aren't found. They're crafted
Yeah,
proactively.
by you.
It's an active stance, strategic, putting your humanity and your contribution first.
Mm-hmm. Which leads us to that final thought, that provocation from the material.
Yeah. Don't just aim for the job that's listed on the board. Aim for the role that only you can make essential.
What unique impact are you best placed to make? What does the world need that you specifically can help deliver?
That's something to really sit with.
A powerful question for everyone.
And if folks listening want to explore these ideas more, connect with others on this path, find ways to contribute, the Insights mentioned a resource for that, right? Yes, a place really focused on exactly that, finding purpose, connection, opportunities in this changing landscape.
We've put the link to that resource right there in the description for this deep dive.
Definitely worth checking out if this conversation sparks something for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for digging into this with me. This was really insightful. Feels crucial right now.
It really does.
Oh,
Always great to unpack these big ideas with you.
until next time.